You cannot be artificial, you can only tell the truth, no matter what. These are the words of Tom Hanks. Not talking about presentation, but talking about the art of acting and how to be a great empathetic actor. Now, where he said this was actually at the Oxford Union just about a year ago. He gave a great Q&A and a little bit of a mini lecture on certain aspects of acting. Fortunately, Oxford Union recorded that and put it on their YouTube channel, which I'm very appreciative of, so thank you for doing that. So here's a few things that I pulled from this video. So Tom Hanks, right at the beginning, says that you have to get past this sense of self-consciousness. This is the killer. Now that applies to an actor, of course, young actor, let's say, starting out, or a new actor, or a struggling actor, but it applies to presenters as well. Any kind of leader, really any kind of person, a teacher who's in front of 10 students, it applies to all of us. Any of us who have to get up, stand and deliver, address an audience, speak to a group, whatever it is, self-consciousness is the killer. This idea that, I'm caring about what I look like and what I sound like. That's not the issue. The issue is the message and this moment in time and that connection with an audience. So Tom Hanks goes on to say that no matter what the circumstance is, no matter what the emotion is, you must not fake it, but in other words, you're recreating it. Now, we are not actors, of course, but it does apply to us too. Anything that we're trying to sell, that is to persuade an audience, is something that we have to believe. We cannot fake it. We have to actually believe it and then try using empathy. For example, understanding the objections that an audience might have. We need to understand those. We should not be shocked by any objections that an audience has. So anyway, that's very, very key. We cannot fake it. You must believe in what you're selling. So Tom Hanks says that, self-consciousness is the killer. So what is the remedy for that? And one of the remedies, of course, as we know, is just to practice speaking in front of a camera or presenting on stage, and gradually we'll get better. But there are some drills that you can do for actors, for example, and that's something that Tom Hanks takes people through. So he says, one of the ways you break down this self-consciousness problem is through this activity called repetitions. And to learn about that and how to do that, please go watch the Oxford Union presentation. Near the end, Tom Hanks talks about empathetic moments and how the really great storytellers, the really great actors had this great ability, even if it was a very small part, to have just on another level that seems very natural. A skill that he has, by the way, obviously, he's a legend, but even in his first film, which was a very minor role, you can tell he really sticks out. He just has this ability to use his natural empathy to just connect with an audience and to connect with the people around him in a very believable way, which you have to do as an actor. I think great presenters, too, have a sort of empathetic awareness. Of course, they're not worried about whether or not the audience likes me or they agree with me or whatever, in the sense that we're not self-conscious about that. Of course, we have an eye to that because this is it's still a performance. And if it's dragging, if it's too slow, if we have good empathetic awareness, we can pick up on that. We can ask a question of someone who seems to be perplexed. Did you understand? And so on. So great actors have empathetic awareness, but I think great presenters also have that. Killer of that, of course, is self-consciousness. And that's what we want to get rid of. And that's something that Tom Hanks puts people through, these drills that he does with the audience there. And it's something that we can work on just by practicing a lot, by doing lots of presentations, by doing lots of video recordings. We will get better, and that self-consciousness will wash away. So the last thing, this was not in Tom Hanks' presentation, but it reminded me of Benjamin Zander and his work with a young, very, very talented, some of the best musicians, and they're great, but they struggled with this problem of self-consciousness. Am I good enough? Am I worthy of being here? So it really comes down to this idea of just making a contribution in the moment. I've done the hard work. I've prepared the best I can. I'm not going to be concerned with the way I look or the way I sound or whether I'm good enough. I'm here now and I'm giving them my best. That's my contribution. Here, I made this for you. Here it is. And that's all you can do. And once you do that, that kind of frees you up and you're not just worried about yourself. You're focused on the audience and your message, or if it's the cello, you're focused on the music, whatever the case may be. All right. Thank you very much. Please go over or check out the Oxford Union YouTube channel and the Tom Hanks presentation at Oxford Union. There's a Q&A and then there's a little mini lecture as well. So it's awesome.